Princely Emmanuelin is a name that is starting to echo more loudly across NFL circles, and recently, whispers have grown stronger suggesting that he could be in discussions with the Detroit Lions. Although no official confirmations have been made yet, the silent, strategic way the Lions front office operates makes it easy to believe that something could be happening behind the scenes. Given what Emmanuelin brings to the table, the fit seems almost too perfect. Detroit has been meticulously building one of the most dangerous rosters in football, and adding a dynamic edge presence like Emmanuelin could be the final touch that elevates their defense into truly elite territory. Watching Emmanuelin play, it becomes immediately clear why he's drawing so much attention. His first step off the line is electric, a sudden explosion that instantly forces offensive tackles into a retreat. His hand usage is polished for such a young player, and he demonstrates an advanced understanding of leverage and angles, constantly finding ways to shrink the pocket and disrupt timing. Even when he doesn't record a sack, his ability to cause hurried throws, disrupt passing lanes, and create chaos is undeniable. In today's NFL, where disrupting the quarterback is absolutely critical for any championship aspirations, having a weapon like Princely is invaluable. It's not just about the stats on the sheet. It's about the constant pressure he applies, the way he forces offenses to adjust their game plans and account for his presence on every single snap. The Lions, already boasting a rising star in Aiden Hutchinson, will become a nightmare for opposing offenses if they were to pair Hutchinson's relentless power with Emmanuelin's twitchy explosiveness. Imagine a scenario where offensive coordinators spend sleepless nights trying to figure out how to protect their quarterbacks, knowing they can't double-team both sides of the line. Hutchinson commands attention on his own, but adding Emmanuelin would create a devastating 1-2 punch off the edge. It would allow Detroit to unleash more complex defensive schemes, confuse protections, and generate pressure with just their front four, freeing up linebackers and defensive backs to make plays on the ball. In a league where margins are razor-thin, that kind of consistent pressure could be the difference between playoff heartbreak and a Super Bowl berth. From Emmanuelin's perspective, Detroit could be a dream destination. The Lions are no longer the franchise they were a decade ago, mired in mediocrity and endless rebuilds. Today, they're a team on the rise, a team that plays with an undeniable swagger and physicality that mirrors Emmanuelin's own style. Joining a culture that values toughness, resilience, and passion would offer him the perfect environment to thrive and develop into one of the premier pass rushers in the league. He wouldn't just be joining a team, he'd be becoming part of a movement, a resurgence that has captured the attention of fans and analysts across the country. There's also the opportunity for immediate impact. Emmanuelin wouldn't have to wait behind veterans or fight for snaps in Detroit. He would likely be thrust into a major rotational role right away, with every chance to earn a starting spot early in his career. And working alongside Hutchinson would only accelerate his growth, offering him a mentor who understands the grind, the expectations, and the mentality it takes to succeed at the NFL level. Few situations across the league will provide a young edge rusher with a better combination of opportunity, coaching, and culture. The buzz around Emmanuelin has only intensified as scouts and analysts have dug deeper into his film. His athletic profile jumps off the screen, quickness, flexibility, bend around the corner, and the motor to chase plays down from the backside. But what truly sets him apart is his football IQ and his willingness to study and improve. Teammates and coaches have praised his work ethic, his attention to detail, and his leadership qualities. These aren't just nice bonuses, they're traits that NFL teams covet when investing in young talent. It's one thing to be physically gifted, it's another to pair that with a mental makeup of a future star. When considering Detroit's recent draft philosophy, the connection makes even more sense. The Lions have prioritized players who fit their culture, tough, smart, relentless competitors who love the game. They aren't just collecting athletes, they're building a team identity, and Emmanuelin fits that mold to perfection. It's easy to envision him slipping into the Lions' locker room and immediately resonating with Dan Campbell's no-nonsense, high-energy approach. It's not just about sacking quarterbacks. It's about setting a tone, about being the guy who brings energy and physicality every single snap in practices and games alike. There's also a strategic element to consider. The NFC North is evolving into a division full of talented young quarterbacks. Jordan Love is emerging in Green Bay. The Bears are poised to draft their next franchise quarterback, and Minnesota is reloading their offense. If Detroit wants to maintain control of the division and push even deeper into the playoffs, they'll need to build a defense capable of harassing and unsettling these young QBs early and often. Pressure bursts pipes, And having a player like Yamamulin helps ensure that opposing offenses never feel comfortable, never settle into a rhythm. Sources close to the situation have hinted that the Lions front office has been particularly active in evaluating edge rushers this offseason. They know the window is open, and smart teams take advantage of windows instead of letting them slip away. Securing Yamamulin could be a move that doesn't just strengthen the roster for 2025, but sets Detroit up for sustained defensive dominance for years to come. In a salary cap league, getting young, impact defenders on rookie deals is the lifeblood of roster building, and Princely would represent tremendous value, especially if he quickly becomes the force many believe he can be. Beyond his skill set and fit with Detroit's roster, there's also the marketing and fan engagement aspect to consider. A player like Yamamulin, with his charismatic personality and electrifying playstyle, could instantly become a fan favorite in Detroit. Ford Field would erupt every time he notched a sack, and his jersey would quickly become one of the top sellers in the team store. Building not just a great team, but a team that fans feel emotionally connected to, is part of the Lions' ongoing transformation. Yamamulin could be a major catalyst for that continued growth, giving the city another hero to rally behind as Detroit chases its first Super Bowl title. There's also the long-term developmental aspect. Yamamulin is already an outstanding talent, but under the guidance of the Lions coaching staff, particularly defensive line coach John Scott Jr., who has a strong reputation for developing pass rushers, he could reach levels even his college tape only hints at. Technique refinement, strength training, film study habits, all of these areas could be honed to perfection in Detroit's program. In 3 or 4 years, we might be talking about Princely Yamamulin not just as a great young player, but as one of the absolute best defensive ends in all of football. Detroit could be the launch pad that accelerates his rise to superstardom. Finally, it's worth thinking about the message a move for Yamamulin would send to the rest of the NFL. It would tell everyone that the Lions are no longer satisfied with incremental progress. They are hungry, aggressive, and ready to do whatever it takes to seize the moment. Adding a talent like Yamamulin would not just fill a positional need, it would be a bold, declarative statement that Detroit intends to dominate, not just compete. And sometimes, in the NFL, attitude is everything. Yamamulin's arrival could symbolize a new era of Lions football, one defined by fearlessness, ferocity, and a relentless pursuit of greatness. The idea of Princely Yamamulin donning the Honolulu blue and silver, lining up opposite Aiden Hutchinson, terrorizing quarterbacks in front of a roaring Ford Field crowd, is an exciting vision, one that could very well become reality sooner than anyone expects.